Hey everybody, today we're going to make a video. I haven't done this in a while, but this is something special and I'm using my new Christmas present here. So this is a pork loin roast, maybe about maybe even more, 4 pounds maybe. And I've got some rosemary, which I just picked out of a garden. And remember, this is Massachusetts, the day after Christmas. It's still fresh from the garden, so go figure that one. I got some garlic I'm going to chop up. I've got some crushed red pepper, salt, and fennel, and a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to mix that all together. I'm going to rub this piece of pork with it. And then I'm going to take it over here, and I'll put it into a bag and seal it in my food saver contraption here, which will vacuum out all the air and leave just the pork and all the spices that I put. And then I'm going to take it over here, and I'm going to dump it in this bucket of water. Go figure, what is he doing now with a bucket of water? Okay, on the side of this bucket of water, I'm going to pan up and you'll see this. Looks like something out of Star Wars, but it isn't. Well, it may be, but this is an ANOVA Sous Vide machine. And how it works is it has a temperature and the time on it, which I got to figure out how to turn to Fahrenheit so I can understand it. And it has a little knob, that little blue thing there, that I turn and I set the temperature. And that starts a pump down here. And you see the 4 slots. They're going to take in the water, they're going to heat it up, and they're going to pump it around here and circulate that water around the roast, and that will cook it. And say, how do you cook in hot water? You're going to boil the thing. Just remember, it's in the bag. None of the water gets in the bag. None of the pork gets out of the bag. That's the deal. And I can set it to exactly the right temperature, and I can leave it in there for hours and hours and hours. In fact, this roast is going to take probably 4 or 5 hours before it's done. Now it'll come out of there cooked totally through, except it won't be browned. So at that point, I'll do more video, and I'm going to go outside with a blowtorch and the grill, and I'm going to char the outside of it really, really quick. So what you'll have is the most tender pork ever, and a nice crust finish on the top to make it edible. So hopefully these guys are going to eat good tonight. And I've got to get chopping right now. I will add on to this shortly. Bye-bye now. Okay, here's part 2. I just rubbed it with all the spices, and I've got it in the bag, and I'm taking the bag over to the sous vide machine, and I'm popping it in. And now it's sitting at the bottom. Now I'm going to do, hopefully, a smart thing. I'm going to paper clip it to the side here so it doesn't bounce around and come apart, because I've actually had that happen once before, and it's not a good thing. So right now our sous vide, a second ago it was at 90 degrees, now it's 94.5. I'm going up to 140 degrees, and I'm going to run it for 5 hours and see what happens, what comes out of this bag. I bet you just can't wait. Okay, over and out. Bye-bye. Okay, so here we are. I got to show you this. It's 139.5. Just because I just unplugged it about a minute ago, and then I forgot that I didn't shoot any video. But this is my contraption. Got this thing that I found at it was at Home Depot today, and I had to reinforce it a little with some wood to keep the sous vide thing straight up and down. I put this lid on the top, and it's a good thing because look, all that water that would have escaped and kept that water cooler, I prevented with that lid. Now here I've hooked the bag to the side with a big clippy thing. Okay, and that's just to show how cool it looks sitting in there. And I've also blocked it with a couple of pieces of wood so it's vertical, and the water gets spread around like it should, because it was bumping into the sides. I'll fix that and reinforce this bucket at some point. But now we have in here our pork that's been roasting. And outside we have our grill that's up to temperature, and I have my blowtorch sitting on the kitchen table. So when I start all this stuff, I will have Carolyn videotape and you can see all the flames and fire and all the fun stuff coming off of this. Doesn't this sound like fun? Okay, here we go. Bye-bye. Okay, here's our sous vide. Here's our smoking hot thingy. And I'm gonna open it up now. And I'm gonna warn the faint of heart, there could be flames here. I'm fairly certain there will be flames. I'm trying to get the fat side up. Ah, see, what did I tell you? So, there it is. And here we have our blowtorch. And we're just cooking the top of it. This is already up to temperature. There we go. Now the bottom side is getting cooked, and I'm doing the top side now. Oh, this is so much fun cooking with Matt. What I should have brought out is a spatula or something to turn this thing over with. But I'll get to that in a second. You reaching for like the fork, hon? Oh, she's filming my foot. That's perfect. Oh, thank you. You're the greatest. Try to flip it. Wow! Oh, I actually got the fat down the wrong way. There we go. Oh, it's going to be so good.
What does the blowtorch do, dear?
It caramelizes the top. So look, instead of drab white, you get this nice round, sizzled, crisp skin on top of the pork. You wouldn't want to eat a white piece of pork. It would be just bland and gross. And now it's starting to look really, really good. I flipped it on the wrong side. That's all right. Most of it is still good. So I'll get this up to temp. Oh, it's nice and sizzling and brown. Plus it gives you that yummy propane taste that you don't get everywhere. This kid, propane is flavorless. Flavorless. Ah, look at the flames like caveman city. Meanwhile, the interior of this is still nice and soft and pink and yummy. See how black it's getting? I don't want to get it too black, but I want a good color on it. And I'm sure this is going to be tasting of rosemary and garlic and all the yummy stuff that I've cooked. Because it's sucked into the meat right now. Pork roast by Burns-O-Matic. On the outside here. I think this is the best way to do it. They sell these things on Amazon. It's basically this torch and a little grill, but no heat underneath. So if you put it on heat, you're doing the bottom side. So I figured this will be done much, much quicker. Now all I'm going to do is drop it on top of a platter at this point. I think it's pretty much done. Save tons of propane. My lovely wife has graciously given me the platter. And we shut our torch off. We shut our big giant Bundes grill off. And it goes into the plate. Now it's not overcooked at this point. And I will tent it to let the heat sink in and out and it'll be even that much more delicious. Okay, you got it all, hon? Does that look nice or what? All right, I'm gonna slice now. Here we go. It's either gonna be absolutely delicious or I'm screwed. I have to throw it on the grill. Oh, it doesn't look good. Look at that. Looks very juicy. I'll slice it thin. Oh, that looks, well, so far so good.
Talk about the pink,
Talk about the what?
the color.
Oh, it's light pink, and it's actually not all that light either. So even people that are worried about trichinosis with pork shouldn't have to worry about this. Trichinosis with pork is something I would never lose any sleep over. I know that's what we've been raised on, is that pigs are dirty and they have trichinosis and we're going to die if we eat rare pork, but I really don't think that's the case anymore. All the places we get pork from fill these poor pigs up with so much antibiotics that you'd have a hard time getting trichinosis at this point, I think.
Weren't you going to talk about how
Yeah.
the pink doesn't mean it's actually undercooked?
Exactly. The pink doesn't mean it's undercooked. It was cooked at 140 degrees, which is probably higher. I think it's a little higher than the FDA is saying you should cook your pork at these days. I think they've actually relaxed the temperature on pork. And pork is, I would do it even rarer than this. But most people in this household would not eat it if it was any rarer than
Very
this.
true.
I've had it, and I think it's delicious. I think pork is overcooked by and large, and we'll see how this is, okay? So we're going to eat right now, and then I'll upload this video. Bye, everybody.